Again folks, and welcome back to this week's video. And we had sad news this week as Nintendo has announced they're finally going to be closing the store for both the Wii U and the 3DS and 2DS, which means we are on a time limit to download some of the amazing games that are available on the eShop for both of these consoles. But there is a bit of a time frame from this. So on March 23rd, 2022, you will no longer be able to add credit to your eShop account for either of these consoles. Following that, on August 29th, 2022, you'll no longer be able to top up your console with eShop credit. And finally, in late March 2023, they'll be closing the shop for both these consoles forever. So, folks, we are on a time frame to download some of the amazing games that are available for both of these systems. Sure, a lot of these games may be moving their way to the Switch, but these games are my top 10 games you need to add now before the eShop closes down forever. Before we jump into this week's video, can I please ask you guys to click that subscribe button? It really helps the channel as I put out new videos every Saturday live at 5, and I really want you folks along for the ride. Now, into this week's video. The first game I want to talk about is an absolute bona fide Nintendo classic and one you have to play at some point in your gaming career, and that is, of course, Duck Hunt. It was the very first light gun game I ever played, but in this day and age, to play the original version, you will need a CRT TV, a NES console, a copy of the game, and a NES Zapper. If you do not have all of those things laying around, one of the easy ways to play this is using your Wii U and a Wii controller. You can still play Duck Hunt how it was meant to be intended, using a light gun as such, on your big HD or 4K television for the low price of just £3.49. Who knows if this game will ever make the jump to Nintendo Switch, so grab it on the Wii U store now while you can.
The name's Fox McCloud.
The next game on our top 10 list you have no excuse for getting, as it is a free download, and that is Star Fox Zero Battle Begins and Training. So what this is an anime and training section which is not on the disc for Star Fox Zero, but is made to kind of be played before you play this game. So it may not be the most amazing Star Fox game of all time, it might be the best Wii U game of all time, but this is download only. You can only get it now, so get it now while you can.
Hotshot flyboy who's kind of a handful, but also one of the best pilots I've ever met.
Next up on our top 10 list, we have games which are exclusive to the 3DS, and these are the 3D classics, which are remakes of some amazing NES games which have been put into 3D specifically for the 3DS. So these games are only available to download on the 3DS, so you have a limited time to play these games in a very different but very cool way. We all know that Nintendo recently released Metroid Dread, but there is other Metroid games in that kind of series that you need to play before that game, and one of those is Metroid Zero Mission, which you can download on the eStore at the moment for your Wii U. But one reason you very much may want to download this game is a physical copy of this game is incredibly expensive. It is hundreds of pounds. It is very expensive, but if you want to get the full kind of Metroid saga, you want to pick this one up. So do it now, get the download before the store closes, or down the line you're going to have to pay a lot more for a physical copy of this game. Sticking with the theme of Metroid, next up is Metroid Prime Trilogy. And one of the biggest reasons you might want to get a download version of this game while you still can is because you need multiple consoles to play it across. The first two games are on the GameCube and the third game is on the Wii, which is all well and good if you have both a GameCube and a Wii, or a Wii which can play GameCube games. If you have neither of them and just want to play on the Wii U, this is the easiest and possibly the cheapest way to do so, as these games are only getting more and more expensive, especially the Wii version of Metroid Trilogy, which is already super expensive. Another game that Nintendo have decided to dust off after years is Advance Wars. This will soon be coming to the Nintendo Switch. But if you want to go back and play some of those classic games, the physical versions of these games are going to get more and more expensive. So I'd recommend going on the eShop and downloading Advance Wars Dual Strike now while you still can. It is a fantastic game. They are brilliant games to play. They're definitely more suited for that handheld, having the 2 screens. So grab this one for the 3DS while you can, because I think the price on this one is only going to go through the roof. There are going to be so many games lost as the eShop closes, but one which will probably never return will be WarioWare Snapped. That is because you need to have the 3DS and the camera to play this game. So I don't think this is one we're going to ever see come back again, so definitely grab this while you can. It may not be the best WarioWare game of all time, but don't miss out. You have one shot, one opportunity to grab this one, to do it while you can. Again, sticking with the theme of Wario and games that are going to get more and more expensive, this one has already got really expensive, and that is Game & Wario for the Wii U, which you can download now on the eShop. A physical copy of this game, as of today on CX, is around 60 quid. And I think this is one for all you Wii U collectors out there. If you're aiming for physical, grab it now, or keep an eye out for a cheap copy. If you just want to play this game for a cheaper price, grab it off the eShop. It is a fantastic game. Definitely one I'd recommend picking up, so do it now while you still have the chance. Another Wii U exclusive game, which the physical copy goes all over the place. The price of this game fluctuates more than the price of petrol in this country, and that is Devil's Third. I have seen this game go into the hundreds. At the minute it is pretty low, but if you're not really a person who collects physically, this is a really good one to pick up on the eShop while you still can. I feel like the price of this game will go back up. I still have not added it into my physical Wii U collection. I will be doing it when I see it for a cheap price. It may not be the best game of all time, but it's a difficult one to get hold of, so grab it now off the eShop while you can. The final games on this list, and I do say games because I have kind of jumbled them all here together. They are various prices, but they are all absolute classics. We are, of course, talking about the Pokémon games they have re-released on the Virtual Console for the 3DS. These games today, if you want to go out and buy a physical copy of these games, it's going to cost you both an arm and a leg. These are expensive games, and they are only going to get more and more expensive. And this is a really good way to experience these games. If you are not looking to fill your shelves with games and just want to go back and have a nostalgia trip, revisit your childhood and just enjoy catching Pokemon the way it was intended on a handheld form, then get these games now. These are, we all know you can go out and download ROMs of pretty much any of these games. Pokemon is probably one of the most pirated games of all time, but please support Nintendo. Please buy these from the eStore now while you can. Otherwise, I tell you, in the next few years, when you are complaining about the price of Pokemon going absolutely through the roof and kind of just getting out of the price range of most of us just gamers, people who just want to play the original Pokemon games, they will be out of luck. They'll be super expensive, so definitely, if you take nothing else away from this video, download the Pokemon games now. You will not regret it down the line. That is our top 10 for this week then. And I think it's quite a sad thing that the eShop is closing. But one thing also to consider, I feel personally that this is going to drive up the price of physical media also, as that will be the only way to pick up these games. So a lot of these games, be them for the 3DS, the 2DS and the Wii U, I presume, probably correctly, will go up in price. So even if you're not a physical collector like myself, you probably want to pick up these games if you are aiming to get the physical releases. If not, I've told you now, these are the games that will be disappearing soon for the digital shop. So if you want these games either physically or digitally, grab them now. There we have it then, folks. They are the top 10 games I recommend you pick up now before it's too late for your Wii U and your 3D or 2DS. These are two amazing consoles, ones that I love collecting for and ones I will be super sad to see go. I've had some fantastic memories of both of these consoles, and I think they are ones that are underrated. I think these are the consoles that are going to get really expensive to collect for in the coming years, especially with the closure of the eShop. But Folks, please let me know in the comments down below which ones of these games you are going to be picking up before that store closes. Heed my words, do it now before it's too late. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave a like. Remember to subscribe as I put new videos out every single Saturday. And as always, the main thing to do is keep playing the game. See you all soon.